So I would like to begin this evening this morning actually, it's evening in the US, by saying thank you so much for coming here. Without you, we cannot get our information out to the people of Tamil Nadu, India, and the rest of the world. You are our voice to be able to project all of this education. So thank you so much for welcoming us. Thank you so much for giving this topic this kind of importance. And thank you so much for being here today. One is amazing Mahalakshmi, who never comes in front of the camera, and respectfully, we always respect her privacy. As soon as she found out about this work from one of our trustees, Amla Akinini, she wholeheartedly said, yes, I will come forward and I will be the MC for this program to be able to help give it a voice in this state. So thank you so much to amazing people sitting here. I cannot tell you how much Anushka has done for us. She flew in late last night and sent me a text message when she arrived just to come in for this. And right after this, she's going to fly out for another shoot. Day and night, no matter when I call, when I text, when I email, she's there. It's incredible when you find people like this who have extremely busy schedules and yet drop everything to come forward for a cause. Thank you so much, Anushka. And Mr. Leela Krishnan, who also answers all of our emails and all of our text messages. It's been incredible to have our team from the United States and different parts of the world write to his office, and their office is doing an incredible job to combat this problem around the state. Thank you so much for approving our materials and for all of your support. So it was in 2005. I was in the United States, I was studying at Stanford, I was doing my PhD, my graduate work, that I started reading these reports coming out of India that said it was to be the next hot zone here for people living with HIV. And that despite hundreds of millions of dollars that had been poured into this problem, that the knowledge levels were still very low. And it didn't make sense. How could you have so much money poured into the problem and yet the knowledge levels were still low? So we ran a number of studies across India to see what we found. And it was the exact same information. The knowledge levels were very low. People didn't know, can you get it from coughing or sneezing or being friends with somebody? They would give you, sometimes they would give you the right answer, but they didn't know why they were giving it. There was superficial knowledge. So we'd ask them, can you get HIV from blood? And they'd say, yes, of course you can get it from blood. You can, and so they said, we've read that in newspapers, we've seen that in billboards, we've heard it on the radio. Yes, you can get it from blood. So we'd say, okay, how do you get it from blood? Do you get it from looking at blood, touching blood, accidentally ingesting blood? And they didn't know. So it was superficial knowledge. So what happened was, we discovered, and it's known to all of us, that it's a topic that's very difficult to talk about, let alone teach about. And this is not just an issue in India. This is an issue all around the world. So once I started posting my research on the internet, we got responses from people all over the world. Ministries of education, ministries of health, leaders of different countries writing and saying, this is not just a problem in India, it's a problem in our country too. We need a new way to teach about HIV in a way that's culturally appropriate and in a way that it's biology-based. HIV is a virus, right? We talk about biology in our classrooms all the time. So we should be also talking about HIV as a virus. So we brought the world's top experts together. Experts in education, experts in medicine, experts in health policy, communication, technology. These professionals, these experts, these professors usually charge like $500 to $1,000 an hour for their time. They donated their time towards all of these materials. Just like all of these celebrities all also donated their time towards these materials so we can make them available for free of cost to all of our young people to learn. Once we had developed the base program, we were doing lots of research and testing because we wanted to make sure that it was not just beautiful, but that the kids were learning and that they were learning a lot and that they were sharing the information and that they were comfortable with the information. And these are some of the results from the study in India. More than 98% of the young people that went through the materials said that they were comfortable with the materials. One of our professors at Stanford that teaches about communication around the world said that numbers this high, you only see it with Disney movies. So imagine, we were able to bring the comfort level of a topic that's highly sensitive to something where people were extremely comfortable going through the materials. Then when we asked them, do you feel comfortable learning about this from a tutorial or your teachers, or does it matter? The interesting part I'd like to point out here is that only 1.4% prefer to learn it from their teachers. When we talked to the students, they said, you know, we have so many questions, but we're embarrassed to ask about it to our teachers. We're embarrassed to ask about it with the parents. When we talked to the teachers, they said, we want to give this information to the kids. Of course we do, we're educators. But we either feel embarrassed or we don't know how to teach about it. We learn to teach about math, science, English. This is not something that we learn to teach about. So here, by creating these materials through this animated way, we could give it to the teachers, and the teachers could then feel empowered to give it to the young people. It was not only important that the young people felt comfortable with the materials and that they liked them. We also wanted to make sure that they shared it with other people so that you could get the information out. And here, more than 95% of the young people said they were so comfortable that they would be willing to share these materials with their family members and their loved ones and their friends. And lastly, I'd like to point this out, that we had asked them, of all of these materials that you've seen to teach about and learn about HIV, what did you think about the animated materials? And they said that they had learned more than 94% said they learned more from this animated material, which was 22 minutes long, than they had from any other materials that they had come across. We started in Andhra Pradesh, and the reason was very specific. It had the highest stigma of all of India. A few years ago, the HIV positive children, young kids, they were expelled from their schools because they were HIV positive. And because of that, there was a huge debate, a massive public debate, where the parents came, the educators came, and everybody was talking about what to do about this problem. For the parents, Anushka will actually talk more about this, it was difficult for them because they want to protect their kids. And the main issue that came out of this was this utter lack of knowledge. So Amla Akinini was there at this debate, and she was speaking with the young people, and she was speaking with the parents, and she said approximately 60%, after 6 hours of debating, approximately 60% had conceded and said, okay, give us the materials so we can look at them and we can learn from them. And there were no materials that they would be able to give, no comprehensive, culturally appropriate materials. So it was soon after that I met Amla. I actually had gone to Mr. Nagarjuna and asked him, look, this is what the research is showing. Would you be willing to donate your voice towards these materials? And he said, absolutely. So then we started working with the state to create the materials, and now have launched it in more than 24,000 schools, 25,000 schools, counseling facilities, hospitals, NGOs across the whole state. And all of these children were then let back into school. This year, and rolling into next year, we are releasing a number of other versions. So we have done a number of these media launches across India. So in Assam, in Karnataka, and Odisha, and now in Tamil Nadu. And we have plans to create 16 language versions for all of India. If we can create these 16 language versions, then a little over 1 billion people will have access to these materials. So that is our goal. When we started in 2009, the materials were used in 5 countries. And now, in 2013, we just got the new numbers, it's used in 78 countries around the world. It's grown for free. You just can't charge for them because they were freely given to you. And you can't change them because they're medically accurate. So I'm extremely excited to be here today because of launching the trailer, but also to tell you about the amazing actors that have donated their time towards these materials. Many of you, before the press meet began, have asked me, how did we choose these celebrities? And the answer is, we didn't choose them. Your young people did. We asked them, who do you respect? And who do you trust? And who do you want to be the face of these materials? And they said Anushka, and Surya, and Shruti, and Siddharth. And when we approached them, they overwhelmingly said yes. These are some pictures from the actual shoots. These are some pictures of young people and adults using the TeachAIDS materials all over the world. In India, our materials, the pilot materials, are already used in every single state and union territory. But with the development of new language versions, we know in India language matters. With the development of every new language version, we will be able to multiply the access to the materials. You'll be able to find some still shots at this address. Thank you so much for having me here today.
I welcome you all for this launch function. Once again, I want to thank the TeachAIDS and Anushka and all others who have put in their efforts and who have joined hands with us to eradicate this HIV/AIDS in Tamil Nadu. And this year, that is before 2015, we are planning for getting it into zero. That is zero discrimination, zero new infections, and so zero deaths. So I think we can achieve this if we do this from the grassroots level, and then we are trying to do this from the schools and college levels. And we are doing it through the Red Ribbon clubs which we have already established in about 10,006 and odd colleges across Tamil Nadu. And this year, before the end of this physical, we are going to have 700 more new colleges included in this RRC activities. And for this RRC activities, I think this TeachAIDS CD will help us a lot, because when they came to us, they showed me the English version, and we sat and saw the whole version, and it explains fully about how watersides, how to overcome all these things, and how to for discriminations, all those things we saw. And we got the Tamil script also from that. Pia had made a Tamil script and sent it to us, and then our team sat together and we went across the Tamil script and we corrected it and gave it to them. So now they have released. I'm happy that within a short span of time they have done this. And once again I thank Anushka Shetty and other people who have taken part in this. 2015வது வருஷத்துக்குள்ள நம்ம தமிழ்நாட்டில் நம்ம வந்து இந்த எய்ட்ஸ் ஜீரோ டிஸ்கிரிமினேஷன் ஜீரோ லெவலுக்கு கொண்டு வரணும்னு நம்ம இப்போ பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். அதில் வந்து ஜீரோ டிஸ்கிரிமினேஷன், அதாவது புறந்தள்ளுதல், ஒதுக்குதல் இருக்கக்கூடாது, தென் புது தொற்றுகள் இருக்கக்கூடாது, புது இறப்புகள் இருக்கக்கூடாதுங்கிறது. இந்த எய்ட்ஸ்னால புதுசாக இனிமேல் யாரும் இறக்கக்கூடாதுங்கிறதுக்காக we are taking steps. ஸோ அந்த இதில் பார்க்கும்போது இந்த TeachAIDS CD மூலிமா நாங்கள் வந்து RRC ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ், தட் இஸ் ரெட் ரிப்பன் கிளப்ஸ்ன்னு நாங்கள் செஞ்சுருள் சங்கம் அப்படின்னு எல்லா காலேஜஸ்லேயும் நாங்கள் we are planning to start. அட் ப்ரெசண்ட் இப்போ வந்து சுமார் 10,006 காலேஜஸில் இந்த செஞ்சுருள் சங்கம் நாங்கள் நடத்திட்டு இருக்கிறோம். இந்த வருஷம் மார்ச் எண்டுக்குள்ள we will be having 700, அதாவது 700 புதிய காலேஜஸில் நாங்கள் துவக்க போகிறோம். இந்த புது காலேஜஸில் துவக்கிறதும் இல்லாமல் ஸ்கூல்ஸ்லேயும் நாங்கள் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஏற்பாடு பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். ஏற்கனவே ஸ்கூல்ஸில் இருக்குது, பட் இந்த வருஷம் இன்னும் புதுசாக நிறைய ஸ்கூல்ஸ், சிபிஎஸ்சி ஸ்கூல்ஸ் எல்லாத்துலேயுமே கொண்டு வருவோம் அந்த ப்ரோக்ராமை. ஃபார் தட் இப்போ இந்த ஸ்கூல் லெவல்ஸில் இருக்கிற பிளாக் லெவல், எவ்ரி பிளாக், ஒரு பிளாக் லெவலில் இருக்கிற ஸ்கூல்ஸ்லேருந்து செலக்டட் டீச்சர்ஸை கூப்பிட்டு வந்து கோயிங் டு கிவ் தெம் ட்ரைனிங் ஹியர். ட்ரைனிங் கொடுத்து அந்தந்த டிஸ்ட்ரிக்டில் ட்ரைனிங் கொடுத்து, ஸோ தே வில் பி அவங்க ஸ்கூலில் போய் அவங்க ஒரு டீம் ஃபார்ம் பண்ணி அவங்க அந்த எய்ட்ஸ் அவேர்னஸ் ப்ரோக்ராம் அந்த ஸ்கூலில் நடத்துவாங்க. ஸோ இந்த TeachAIDS ப்ரோக்ராம் வந்து இவங்க எங்ககிட்ட வந்து அப்ரோச் பண்ணி ஒரு 3 மாதம் இருக்கும். அந்த 3 மாதம் டைமில் they brought down this CD. It's good. ஸோ இந்த ஒரு ஜீரோ டிஸ்கிரிமினேஷன். இன்னொன்று சொல்லணும்னா, நம்ம தமிழ்நாடு வந்து எல்லா மாவட்டங்கள்லேயும் மாநில எய்ட்ஸ் கட்டுப்பாடு சங்கம் மூலமாக நாங்கள் இப்போது கிராமப்புற விழிப்புணர்ச்சி நிகழ்ச்சி நடத்திட்டு இருக்கிறோம். அது ஃபஸ்ட் ஃபேஸ் இப்போ போயிட்டு இருக்கு. இந்த செகண்ட் ஃபேஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண போகிறோம். தமிழ்நாடு தான் இந்த எய்ட்ஸ் ஒழிப்பு இதில் வந்து நாங்கள் எல்லா விதத்துலேயுமே முன்மாதிரியாக இருக்கிறோம். இந்தியாவில் எந்த ஒரு இது மாடல் எடுத்தாலும் நம்ம தான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு பண்ணியிருப்போம். இங்கேருந்து தான் மற்ற ஸ்டேட்ஸ் நம்மளை தான் பார்த்து இது எப்படி பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னு. லாஸ்ட் ஒரு 15 டேஸ்க்கு முன்னாடி வி ஹேட் இந்த ஒடிசாட்டிலிருந்து அவங்க டீம் வந்திருந்தாங்க. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி நம்ம தான் முன்மாதிரியாக திகழ்கிறோம். அது எல்லாம் உங்கள் சப்போர்ட்டும் இருக்குது. அதில் உங்கள் சப்போர்ட் இல்லாமல் வி cannot do all these things. ஸோ எங்களோட ஃப்யூச்சர் இதுலேயும் நீங்கள் எல்லோரும் எங்களுக்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ணி நம்ம எல்லோரும் ஒன்றா சேர்ந்து வில் ட்ரை டு பிரிங் டவுன் டு ஜீரோ. Thank you.
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். I'm very sorry because Englishல பேசுறேன் எனக்கு, because there's so much that I want to talk about, and definitely Tamilல பேசுறேன் இல்லனா தெலுங்குல பேசுறேன். I can't deliver that what I want to really say. So first of all, thank you very much the press. I'm amazed to see so many people here present here. It is a cause, it's a movie promotion, it's not required that you have to be here and support this cause. So I'm overwhelmed actually to see all of you to support us, because as Pia said, without you all there's no way that we can talk so much, we can discuss so much, we can work so much, but without the print and the media, that's the only medium we have to get across to the whole state. And thank you very much, each one of you who are here. Thank you so much for being here. Priya Sonagar, she said that Anushka, very busy schedule, she's here, and she just made a big thing out of it. But it is true. But I want everyone to know that I just took out some time from my busy schedule. I didn't give up movies for that. It's between my movies that I made the time. And I should say that Pia and her husband, both of them, Ashwini, each one of them they come from the most renowned institutions in the world, where half of us just dream to go and study. She's done extremely well, and today I'm sure wherever she puts her resume in, she's going to have the best paid job ever in the world. And in the midst of all the comforts, she can just have a very luxurious life, which I'm sure better than mine also. But the question is, why, in spite of all that, why is it, what is it, something which I've always thought, what is that has made Pia to leave all of that and come here? And I've seen her from 2009. 2009 I started working with Pia on the Telugu TeachAIDS. I've seen her running from each state. She'll send 100 messages to us to get it sorted. She's running from each state, trying to get approvals, trying to make materials done. And it's totally a non-profitable organization. So every penny which is put in, from her flight tickets from the US, coming here, getting work done, going back to US, is all from her pocket. And those are things which really amazed me, because the small things, I was like, why should she do it? There's no reason. It's not that she has someone in her family who is suffering from HIV. That's not that. Is she working for a personal cause? No. In spite of all of that, why should she do it? And so many of us today here, we sit back safely at home. We see it, the sad part about it is we see everything on TV, on channels, and we feel very sorry, some of us have tears in our eyes, and then we switch it off, and then we are back to our routine, unless someone we are close to or someone in our family or someone is suffering from whatever it is. So that's really sad, and I feel I've taken a step. I don't get into a lot of social service or something, because I feel if I get into one thing, I want to stick through it. And I'm just going to be with it till you want me and more.
Always.
And starting about TeachAIDS in Telugu, when I started, I remember, like Pia said, there were schools and colleges, and before that, even before TeachAIDS in Andhra, when I was in college in Bangalore, I didn't know a lot of people. I personally come from a very conservative family, and as everyone knows, the kind of education we have, whether it's sexual education, it's not there in our schools. And when I was in college, I remember that's the first time this whole thing about AIDS. AIDS was spoken about as some, like how leprosy used to be there before. It was spoken about some kind of a demon which has entered, and everyone were like just staying away from people who had AIDS. And cutting things short, I knew a group of people who were thrown away from their villages back then, and they were living in two separate chicken sheds. There was a person called John who himself was transmitted. So he had made this facility for those people, and he had cleared out two chicken sheds, one for the women and one for the men. This would be back in 2001. And I happened to meet them, and I had no clue what it was about. Even I thought that if someone was transmitted with a disease, then you don't touch them, because I remember when I went to meet them, the first thing they did was they cooked food and they gave the food to me. And honestly, I pretended quite well then, but honestly it was very difficult for me to eat from the same plate, because I had the taboo within myself. I didn't know what it was about, and I had so many questions in my head on what it is about, and seen so many people suffering, so many people dying. What I did was I went back home and I shut myself. I stopped going to that place, because that was the best way for me to escape, to close the doors, because I had a normal happy life happening on the side, so I didn't have to pay attention to that. So I ran away from it. And the only other reason was because I didn't have anyone to talk to. So then that's when the chapter closed to that, till again I met Pia in 2009. And I was wondering, because as Pia said again, AIDS is something which not only India but the whole world has been fighting against, to eradicate it and try the best to prevent people, because it's not only through sexually transmitted ways, but also there's so many children that I met back in 2001 who got it from their mother, and the mothers got it from their husband, or so many other ways, which was very sad. So, and I learned from Pia that even mothers who've been transmitted with HIV can prevent it from going to their kids, and their techniques which nobody knows about. So that's when I've just taken the first step with Pia, and the schools, children were thrown out of their schools, because everyone were just trying to safeguard their own families. And I wondered how we were going to get this whole awareness across to people. Like even if somebody, till date, if someone comes and talks to me very graphically, that's something that I don't want to hear about. Because we, as a very conservative culture, that is a plus point and a minus point. So as a culture, we've always shunned certain things because we don't want to listen to it. So I was wondering, how would we get across to people without being too much on the face, without being graphic about things. And I was quite amazed at the way they came out with animations. And even though I've seen all the school kids who see the animation, they learn it, and end of the animation after CD, if you see it, the question and answer sessions which you have, where the kids, the teachers ask, the doctors ask the kids like, okay, now what is it about? Is it transmitted in this way? So it's very nice that the kids, whoever I've seen till date, have accepted it so well. The parents are able to sit and watch it along with their kids. I've known a lot of parents who've taken the CDs, played it at home, and educated their kids. So thanks, Pia, for getting such a wonderful method of teaching for us. And I'm sure, as Pia said, by 2015 she wants to cover India, and her aim is not only India. And again, thanks for giving us the first priority. she has, there's something, because she showed me her mails where you have a lot of NGOs, a lot of people from all over the world, from South Africa, there's so many worlds. We just saw the map and I went through all the statistics with her. But still she chose India to be the first place for her to work. And it would be really nice that by 2015 with each one's support, because to get these animations made into every language, in different languages, to reach out to the people, we need to get the animation. Everyone knows how expensive animations are. So that is something we are raising funds for that. And then making the animation, then doing the press release and giving it away to the government to give it away to all the schools and colleges and the small remote villages also. And in small villages where we don't have electricity, they've also come out with another technique where they take mobile projecting vans. It's taken to every small village and it is projected to everyone to see and learn from it. And anyone who have question and answers, I'm sure they have another contact number where people can contact them and discuss about it. And anyone who wants to come up and help on this, please, you have to get across to Pia. And thank you so much for being here today, because I've never seen her in front of the media. Everyone knows about her, but it's nice that she's just come, and she's someone who just doesn't come in front of the media for anything. She's always kept been backstage on that. Thank you so much for being here.
If you do so much, I should do little bit, that's all.
All for her. And thank you, sir, so much, because whatever we do, end of the day, it's like in Andhra we had the CDs have been, 25,000 copies have been sent over all over the state. And thank you so much for coming and helping us, because how much ever we fight, without the government and the media which is taking it across, it's a total waste of time for us. And thank you, Pia, thanking you, it won't be enough, because no, you're doing something for our country which will definitely help us in future. And I hope, our country is known for our unity, we're known for our things. I hope we come across in such causes and really make a difference and set an example to the rest of the world for spreading such things. And everyone knows this as TeachAIDS. But I want everyone to know that it's actually not TeachAIDS in the sense of HIV. It is TeachAIDS means teaching aids. Different kinds of aids you can use to teach people different things. And this is the first venture of TeachAIDS. That's HIV is the first venture. And they're planning to reach see, we can't transform things, but at least we can spread the awareness to the rest of the world, starting from India. And after this, there are so many other issues, health issues, so many other awarenesses that we are planning to work on. And let's please give a big hand for Pia for starting this for us. Thank you so much. And Ashwini also. Ashwini is Pia's friend. They've traveled. Pia's been traveling 4 or 5 times from US to here, every time to set things and go back. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nikhil. And thank you.